start. Alright, we are done. I can't do the thing. Alright. Just gonna wait for 15 minutes. Just figured I'd start the stream now. And just have it ready. Oh, right, that reminds me. No. There we go. Yeah, you're fine. Don't worry about it. Rough. Reminds me of put a link. That's not the right link. There we go. Let's see that one, and I'm gonna share, copy that one. Jeez, hold on. I need some. There we go. I'm trying to disable the thing. There we go. I've never met this person. I suspect this is a bot. Yeah. So I'm just looking at something else. Oh, that's good. Is it the version 2, the one with the forks on it, and the shorter version? I don't recall. That's why. no forks. All right. Oh, fair enough. Present your screen. Have to select that one for later. Make that full. And I want that PM. Yo, it's Ethan. How you doing, buddy? Yes, we'll be just. Well, I don't think if you want to like me to show any of your fights, feel free to like hop in and actually I haven't posted the link in the actual chat. Hold on a minute. There we go. There's the link to join. Anyway, yeah, I'm doing good, man. How you doing? Also, number one's about the custom. That's cool. Draft house is nice. Yeah, I'm doing great, Ethan. Hope you're doing well this fine Sunday. Yeah, Ethan here got second place at the March event with full Reaper, despite the fact it only had 2 of its 4 wheels the entire event. He did a pretty stand-up job. Excellent work. I just got. Oh, nice. My 3D printer is up there. Where is it? Yeah, there. It's that weird black thing. That's cool. You can start 3D printing your own parts, like whenever you want. Don't need to go grab them from the other people. That'll be fun. Yeah, I'm just kind of waiting right now for other people to join if they want to in either the video StreamYard thing or just in the comments. So it'll be a bit of time before, we actually get started with the recap. Hopefully it should be fun. I'll try and keep it somewhat entertaining. I do have like from the March event at least. Not sure why I have that in there. Let's see. Yeah, not many things, but still got stuff to show. But yeah, we're just kind of waiting, just chilling. I'll add this to the stage so I can have that ready to go. I'm probably gonna take a nap after this, maybe, because I don't really have much to do today or this week, which is nice. I'm gonna try and be a bit faster with the recaps and kind of try and be a bit less superfluous, I suppose. Just so I can make this a bit quicker than normal because I have 2 events to get through because I didn't do one for the March event because I had NHRL to prepare for. So I didn't have time then. Anyway, did my comment post, because I know YouTube is weird about like links in the comments and videos or like the live chats. What is this? What does it start? Put user in timeout. Okay. I posted links in the other Discord servers, so hopefully. Oh, that's good. All right, good. That's great. Yeah, that's good. All right. Yeah, there's a lot of options here. Presenter invite. Oh yeah, I figured got my bots right over here. I got Florian, who's currently. I took off like the bell of the weapon motor because I have a new weapon motor coming in. Because the cam, is it called bell or cam or the thing that surrounds the motor? It's not the stator. Can, I think it's can. That's a can. I'm losing my memory here. Where did I could go? I had it over here like not long ago. My bag of chips. That's my back. Where? That's all. I had it. I was gonna show up here. It's hiding by my water bottle. Let me quickly stop. Let me move this for a second. So, I'll mention this a bit, and we'll go into more detail about this later. But this little part got damaged during the event, and I didn't realize it until like a couple days ago. So I'm just replacing this by getting a new motor outright because I think I messed up by making the wires of the motor, like this new one, a bit too short. So it's kind of like pulling a bit on so it's kind of like pulling. It's like putting a bit of extra tension on these wires when the motor's installed. So I'm getting a new one to fix that and also fix this because this is like, you can barely tell, but it's like a little bit bent compared to the other side. So I'm just replacing it. Also got a bunch of new hardware coming in, which I'll go into a bit more detail later. 3 more minutes and we can officially get started with the recap proper. Can I pin this? I should be able to pin this, right? I'm gonna try starring at the. Oh, I can't. Oh, it's not a pin function. Dang it! I think I'd have to be on like YouTube's live thing in order to actually pin stuff, but whatever. I'll be posting a couple times if I have to. Okay, 2 minutes. Oh, right. Yeah, add this back to stage. There we go. I should probably grab something from the log. I'll be right back because I still got some time. I'm back. All right, flooring. I think your autocorrect. We corrected it twice in a row. Rough house. Oh brother. Oh boy! Oh boy! Oh boy! Oh boy! Jeez, what are they talking about? All right. It's 2 p.m. Let's get this party started. Welcome, everybody, to the Combo 2 event, the March Mech Madness and NHRL April 2026 live event recap with me, the idiot with the glasses, Darren, captain of this very silly robotics team. Gonna try, speed through this a bit because I do want to get this kind of done because I forgot to do this last week because I had NHRL to prepare for, so I couldn't do the March Mech Madness thing. So I figured I'd just kill 2 birds with 1 stone and just do both of them at once. I'm also gonna have to update the wiki for both the bots, which shouldn't take too long, but it's gonna be a bit tedious getting all the pictures in. Anyway, so the March Mech Madness event. We'll start there, obviously, because I was first. This was in Ocala, Florida. was a one-day event hosted partially by Helen and Robert of the Firewolf team, which is good. I thought that who that well. Oh, there's Jupiter. Hi, buddy. How you doing? I think the link should work if you want to pop in here, but hope you're doing well. Anyway, I was feeling kind of good about this event. Personally, I was. Oh my god!
All right.
Hi, folks.
Hi, Darren. Thank you for having me on the stream.
It's the guy who got third at NHRL 30. Wait, did you get third or fourth? I can't remember.
There's no play match for third, so the best thing to say is just that we made it to semifinals. So ranked fourth and above, top four.
Yeah, he got. Terminator got like into the semis at NHRL, which was awesome to witness. Saw it kick some butt. I don't really plan these things out that well. Do you want to like go first and talk about the event? I'll try and pull up your fights. Did you record any of them?
I didn't personally record any of them. I don't think we had members record them, but there are definitely videos on Breadzone in the main stream. There should be a lot of footage of that. But sure, I can talk about Terminator's run.
Yeah, sure. So let me move this. Oh, sorry, wrong button. That's wrong button.
Okay, that's fine.
There we go.
All right, so for those interested, Terminator had a pretty good run, so we did end up qualifying for the championship event, which is good. But it was a very lucky qualification. We had a lot of lucky things happen to us as far as the event goes, and a lot of unlucky things happen to us as far as the robot goes. So what ended up happening is our very first fight was against Hot Honey, which was the probably worst possible fight that we could have been put into. They had a excellent control bot as one of the Kaza bots. So it was a multi-bot. It was one half Kaza, and it was one half B-Force. So a flamethrower, fork wedge bots against, and you can see us there in our gold foil armor. Then that's, of course, to protect the plastic TPU for damage. And yeah, they had B-Force, which is a vert. So you can see us. We get a pretty lucky shot. We get one of Kaza's forks. And our goal going into this was we were going to try to get B-Force. And we got thrown on our heads, and we're struggling to self-right. And we actually call an unstick here, and nothing happens. You see what's going on there? All right, and then Flo, or the large bot Fluffy, finally comes over, and they try to unstick Kaza. I don't really know what's going on there. They don't try to unstick us, and we still struggle to self-right. We finally get over, and at that point, we're just kind of messed up. So this could have gone a lot better for us, but unfortunately, that was our first fight, and that was a loss. So at that point, John, who runs Steady, and I have to go through like a manic episode of just rebuilding everything because so many different parts were busted. It was like Ship of Theseus. It wasn't even the same Terminator the next fight. We had to go through almost all of our spares. They hit a bunch of bad spots. They hit the back plate. That was a big thing that had to be replaced. A bunch of the drive motors were contorted and twisted. We were running these drive motors that had these screws that were just looked like they were just turned 30 degrees, like just bent. Everything was bad, but we got it repaired pretty quick.
What was your next fight again? Like, was it against Shri?
It was against Shri.
All right.
So this was, we were a little bit happy we got this fight since we typically do pretty well against horizontals because we have such a wide drum. And originally we were doing pretty well in this fight. But like, this is again another problem we had is the Terminator. One of the drive sides goes down pretty early, and you'll see it happen. It's quite depressing. Yeah, so
like
we're doing pretty well.
You're just kicking their butt.
Yeah. We're doing pretty well. Previously to the fight, they were like, roof us, send us to the roof, because Shri was kind of more of like a mean build. Kind of like
that's where it happens.
And then, yeah, that was absolutely tragic. It almost hurts to watch right now. So you can see there's not a lot of movement, but there's a little bit, and we had a very nice ref who allowed us to not be counted out. And because we got those initial hits and Shri kind of doesn't have a lot of aggression, they really try to want to stay away from us. We end up getting the judges card and we end up winning the fight. So that was a very unlucky thing that happened with the bot, a very lucky thing that happened with the events and the refs. So that was...
That just keeps going.
Yeah, and you can keep watching it throughout the entire video, but it's a miracle we weren't counted out, and we ended up getting the judge's decision. So that was very scary, though, waiting in the pit. A real nail biter, because I could see why judges might be like, Terminator was barely moving. They should have been counted out, but they didn't think that, luckily. And
I think I remember when I actually watched this fight live, and I remember everyone in like the audience was going like Shri, 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 Shri. Just like constantly.
I don't remember that well. Maybe they were saying that. I was pretty focused on the fight.
I just didn't remember them going Shri, 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 Shri. Like just I was like some kind of cult thing. I think your next fight was like against like what caused the drive to break here?
Yeah. So what happened there was Terminator is different than most bots. It runs tread. And what happens with tread is we have a big pulley in the back on the motor, the small pulley in the front on a dead axle. And these pulleys have flanges on them. And usually the belt just sits between the two flanges, and that's how it's constrained. But what ended up happened here, and this is pretty interesting actually for those who might be interested in treads, is this was a very old tread. These were very old treads. We've been running these for maybe a few events now. They were pretty worn out. They were increasingly easy to put on. They were stretching. And you're probably not going to be able to see it here, but what happened was the tread ran over one of the flanges. And when that happens, because the flange is a larger diameter than just like the pulley teeth itself, the treads get super tight. And that just causes the drive side to get locked up. So that's what happened here. And Darren's gone.
No, I just tried to max it because you're talking about it.
Okay. And so, yeah, just the treads get super tight. Doesn't work anymore. Drive side's down. Completely tragic. After this, we swapped out to fresh treads. They were a lot more sturdy, a lot more tight, not as loose, and we were feeling pretty good.
So then
especially against Alan. This was one of the lucky sides of the event because this is an excellent matchup for us. A vert with a lot of hard mounted armor. So our strategy is just let him have it, basically.
I think you flipped yourself over there. That was pretty impressive. Very artistic or whatever.
Yeah, that was a little bit of luck. But yeah, I'll keep continuing.
Feel like to tell him to polish a lot more.
No, it's all good. Alright, and we get one of their wheels, and they get one of our treads. So at this point, we're pretty similar rematched. We both have one drive side, we both have one weapon. But they're a lot more scared of us than we are of them. You'll see them kind of skirt around us and kind of never quite try to hit us. I suspect they're aiming for our pulley for a weapon, but they never quite get it. And every time they go in, we just knock them over. So you'll see them just dance around us. And the reason the drive side went down in that match is they hit one of our forks that hits the fork mount. The fork mount gets blown into one of our treads and locks.
Yeah, I remember this. Yeah, I saw after the fight, like the fork mount was like shoved into where the tread was.
That hasn't happened before. We thought we were good. So next version, we'll make sure that can't happen again. That's really tragic. We should have been blowing them up the rest of the fight. But we still won. We still made it. We still qualified. If this was against any other robot in the top in the top 8, we would have been toast. Like, if we had to go against Synthesis, if we had to go against Hot Honey again, if we had to go against, God forbid, Ares, like, and we had to let drive side go down, no chance, like, we'd be able to keep going. But luckily with Alan, we had a pretty good matchup, and we were able to get one of those wheels. and we did qualify. So
And they get stuck.
thankfully
They
it was worth it.
And they only burn the unstick.
And
Yay.
yeah, there we go.
Just then you faced Ares with no forks at all.
Yeah, Ares of course has a very high energy beater, and if they hit one of the forks, we were scared the same thing would happen again against Alan when he lose one of our drive sides. So we're just, and at this point we already qualified. At this point we're thinking there's nothing really left to lose. We're fighting Ares. We're just gonna put the drum up to a very high speed and just let him have it. That was the entire idea.
I keep missing easy. Oh gee.
First hit did not go that well. I don't think any hit really went that well.
You broke their beater right there, and
yep.
That was nice.
We broke their beater. So at that point, I'm feeling pretty good, but our weapon, actually, one of our bullet connectors disconnects, and it's now a pushing match. And of course, they have the forks. They're going to have a major advantage here. Although we do have treads, but they have a little bit more pushing power and a lot more maneuverability. And they get us on the wall, and that's, as you probably know, just a really bad spot to be in. Like,
yeah,
it's not happening. I like to think if we had our bullet connector still in, then our drum would still be fine and we'd be able to just like trash on them. But that did not happen, and yeah, we got pretty unlucky there. I actually do have. Team Ares was very nice, and they gave me the chunk of their beater. So yeah, it's all signed by them. It was very nice. They'll still be keeping their beater around for analysis and such. They messaged me. They want to do some things with energy absorption and see if they can calculate if they could have predicted the break. So I'm interested to see if that'll happen. I'm a little bit skeptical on that analysis method personally, but they're MIT. They're pretty smart. If I'm interested to see if they can figure it out.
So, Brooks, overall, what'd you think? What was the experience? Was it good, bad, medium, great?
All right. So this was, I think, Termigator's maybe worst or second worst performing event, but well, I mean, robot wise, but it's probably up there as far as like how well it did, which is surprising. It definitely taught us a lot how the robot still has a lot of the way to go. Like, I think with some upgrades, it can be even more scary and more reliable. And that's all the thing. Like, whenever the drum and the drive is working, as a driver, I usually feel very in control of the fight. As soon as something breaks down, then our whole strategy is gone, because our whole strategy relies on just raw power on the weapon and our ability to plant it and strike. So if any motor stops moving, we're in a bit of a pickle. So we need to continue increasing the reliability. And of course, we had the entire UF team there. Darren was there as well. And it was so great to have everybody on the team in the stands just doing the gator chomp and cheering everybody on. And it was a truly great experience. That did require us to drive up. That might not happen again. We might not have that many people again. But it was a very great NHRL. We had a lot of people come up, and even though Terminator technically didn't perform well, we still, competition-wise, performed quite well. So that's kind of the way I view it.
That's good. I can't really think of any other questions I want to ask. Do you have anything else you want to say, or like what improvements are you going to make to Terminator for finals?
That's a good question. So we'll see how much improvement gets done. Darren probably already saw, but I'll be leaving Gainesville, leaving UF, and it'll be kind of interesting to navigate with the team on our upgrades. But for the upgrades we do want to do, hopefully we can do, is we want to swap out the bearings on the drum from full complement needle bearings to cylindrical rollers with an inner race. The reason we're doing this is because we don't want to control the roughness of our shaft, and we've made this shaft, the drum shaft, on our lathe before. We just can't really get it right for the needle bearings, and we need a lot of needle bearings like close together for it to work. all the needle bearings close together, combined with the roughness of the shaft, just generates a lot of heat. And with our limited space inside, we just don't have the barrier to manage that. You don't want a lot of heat in the weapon anyway. So we're going to be switching over to cylindrical rollers, more spacing, bigger needles, an inner race that's precisely made for the bearings. So hopefully we can be a lot more efficient on our weapon that way. The other thing we want to do is no more bolt connectors. Those ruined our one chance to get a win against Ares. Like, we're probably not going to have that happen again. So we need to get rid of any possibility for a electrical disconnection that could happen in the fight. So those are our two main things. I think those will be excellent upgrades. Oh, and we're going to be redoing our fork mounts, so it's impossible for the drive to lock up. So
that's a good idea.
Lock it down. More reliability. Just keep the upgrades going.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I can't really think of anything else I wanted to ask or say. I didn't expect you to join this early, I'll be honest. I thought you were going to join like an hour from now or something. Just like say hi and then just do this and then leave.
Right. Well, it was definitely nice to be here. So are you planning to come back to NHRL? Oh, and what fights I don't know if you already mentioned this early in the stream, but how was your NHRL experience? Basically,
I just started streaming. I was going to go over my March event, then go to the NHRL event because I have to do two events in one. I'll talk about it. I went fine enough, and I probably will try going again at some point when the rest of the team goes to an event. I'll try and go to one, except finals because I haven't qualified, and I highly doubt that this thing is qualifying for finals anytime soon, unless I get very lucky.
Yeah, it's a long hill to climb.
Yeah, and I also have a bunch of upgrades. I'm going to talk about the upgrades I plan to do on this thing a bit later, but the shorthand is make it smaller and consider switching to belt-driven weapon eventually. But mostly it's just make it smaller is the main thing. So I can put the weight somewhere else. And I may like switch to small electronics like brushless drive, which will probably be a night because I'd find a brushless motor with a 6mm shaft for me to use for the drive motors, which will. I assume there's like an adapter I can find that like a brushless motor that fits the gearbox I use. I hope.
There's many ways of doing it. You will not have a problem doing a 6mm output in Beetles.
I figured. I just haven't had the time to really look into it because I've been pretty busy. I'll probably have a lot of time over the summer because I don't have any actual. I only have like one summer class, and it's online, and it's like some American history thing that I have to take to graduate. So yeah, I should have a lot of time just to sort of design stuff. That's the plan. That's what I'm gonna do. So yeah. If you want to like head out, you can. If you have stuff to do, because
All right. Well, I suppose I will. Thank you for everybody who turned in for the Terminator fans out there. Yeah. All right. Bye.
Bye, bro. So, that was nice. Glad of him. I was honestly not expecting him to join that fast. 1 second, I dropped something. Oh, crying up. Oh, come on. Drop the gearbox. Well, again, like I said, I was not expecting him to join this early, so I was fully expecting him to join like an hour from now, and we talked about NHRL together. I mean, we kind of did, but including the experience I had, which was interesting. Anyway, but hey, 1 second, I dropped the little gearbox on the floor, so now I'm just trying to put it back together for heat's sake. Yeah, you can tell I don't script these things at all. Anyway, I'm going to switch back to the thing, what I was doing before. March Mech Madness. There we go. And then I have to add the stage. There we go. Brilliant. So yeah, that was Brooks Silber. Go follow him on I think he has like a YouTube channel. And he does cool stuff. And wish him luck in his future endeavors of whatever it is, whatever job he's getting. I haven't really asked him. I keep forgetting because again, I only like remember to do something after the time would be good. My goodness sakes. Okay, I'm just gonna let the flight. Event Ocala plan. I was feeling optimistic because this was a pretty small event with not many people there, and I felt maybe I could actually perform well because not many robots there, less fights I have to go through overall. It's going to be kind of chill. That was the vibe. The vibes were very chill, and I was feeling pretty optimistic about my chances of doing well. And it's also a like I said, also run by Helen and Robert from the Junkyard, from the Firewolf Robotics team. I keep mixing up my team names. Rah. And so, yeah, I thought, anyway, so go to get the event. I also brought chlorine along to this event because I figured I'd just show it off because I wanted to show off the robot and also get some feedback on if my fork design was bad or not. I think it went well. Anyway, so after qualifying and after getting into the event, my first fight of the day was against the classic, was against the lovable scamp. You know him, you love him, old Space Junk and Jonathan. Junkyard Wolf. Shush, my brain doesn't work sometimes. It's bad. Anyway, so yeah, my first fight was against Space Junk. And I was feeling pretty good because, Space Junk, he's pretty tough, but, as long as you keep your weapon pointed at him and just sort of maintain your composure, you should be okay-ish. But yeah, I was feeling okay because it was a pretty, like I said, new event and all that jazz. And I'm trying to remember if there's anything like specific that happened. Not really. So let's just get this started. Louder. Yes. Are we ready? I'll try and if I forgot anything, I'll try to remember it. Okay, here we go. So spin up. I demonstrate some exceedingly poor driving by just letting him get a good shot on me and not just driving away for some reason. So that's great. Starting off upside down. I'm not moving. I should really be concentrating on driving away from him, but I'm not. And a good shot to his weapon while I'm upside down, which is nice. Spin up. I then hit him and I get shoved into the wall. I shoot myself into the wall and get stuck because the walls of this arena were all wood instead of having like a metal kick plate like I'm used to having. Not that was like a bad thing or anything. I mean, it was kind of bad, but like I'm not like I'm just gonna like be like rah or anything. But because like again, it was their first event. I don't blame them. So I managed to get myself free. Spin up again. But I'm kind of still on the back foot. And then so I hit him again, and I get like hit off at like a weird angle that causes me to do this interesting dance move right here of me getting. It causes me to get stuck in the floor at this interesting, let's call it, angle, which is not good because I'm trying to win, and this is not exactly helping my case. I managed to get free though because my wheel's still touching the ground, which is good. Spin up again, and I'm kind of trying to lock back in. Got a good shot there, nice. Had some more shots, so I'm kind of flying around the arena. Damn. And at this point, Space Junk's weapon is starting to look a little bit wobbly because I kind of destroyed it completely. And right here, I get stuck on a seam in the middle of the arena because my, like the little bolt that goes through the motor has like a thread at the end, and that was kind of just getting stuck in like a crevice, so I couldn't really drive. So I spin up. So I finally get free, and like a complete idiot, I drive straight into the wall. I drive straight into the wall with my weapon going full speed because I'm great at driving my robots and get stuck again. And this time I'm actually like fully stuck and I have to call for an unstick. Hit the pause. What? And then during the unstick, Space Junk Jonathan decided just to tap out because his weapon was completely broken and like destroyed, and so he just decided to screw it and just tapped out. And then so I had to have like the guy filming the fight start filming again to capture like the end of it, so I could that point was made clear to the viewers, and me telling you now. So yeah, Space Junk taps out and Florian gets its first win of the day. What the heck? Oh, I did not see you there. I don't know why. I was busy doing the fight recap. Hi, man. How you doing?
Hey, how's it going? I hear a familiar name being mentioned.
It's Jono. How you doing, buddy? We're going
Doing
over
pretty
my
well.
fight with you. We're going over the fight I had with you.
Yeah, that was a pretty chaotic fight, and congrats on the win and somehow managing to get stuck in the arena 3 times.
Yeah, including the 4. Actually, technically 4 if we count that part where I was like just doing a pirouette around like the crevice. That was
I don't know how you pulled that one off, but that was amazing. You should get an award just for that.
I don't know. I don't know how my robot does these things. I'm just amazed that I don't know why I drove straight into the wall at the end. I could not. I genuinely don't know what I was thinking. I think I was thinking, yes, I'm free, and then I just like went forward because I was like, fine, I can drive again, and then just wall. Yeah, this wasn't not my best showing, but hey, I won, yay! And also, actually, hold on, I should. It's down here. Show this on stream. I think your weapon. Let me move that. I have like half of it. I got a nice weapon motor, which. Yeah. Oh yeah, this is stuck. I remember why you gave it to me. This is like a nice big gash. Just this doesn't spin anymore.
Yeah, you destroyed the motor and split a screw hole on that blade right there. Yep.
Yeah.
That was all you.
Yay. I did something. And as we're about to see, this is probably one of the few somethings I did at this event. At least convincingly. Let's just... Yeah. Okay, back to the fun. Thank you for joining, by the way. How are you doing, man?
Absolutely. I always have fun doing these, and happy to be here. And just returning the favor since you joined the recap stream that I did on my team's channel. So
yeah,
happy to be here.
So how you doing? Like, what are you up to? Like, just chilling?
Well, first of all, I'm going to take these off so I can see something. There we go. Look at this. I have eyes.
Yes. Yes. It's like, what's up, man?
Space Junk is just an angled vert. Always has. Yeah. Space Junk is now an angled vert.
Yeah, thanks, I can't like do the comment thing. You can because I don't have like a big enough subscription.
You just click on the comment.
I can't. Oh, I can.
Yeah, wait, yeah, you can. You just click on it. I got to show you how to use StreamYard.
Directly. Oh, okay. I'm just stupid, bro. I'm not used to this, man. I could probably change anyway. So I meant like, what are you doing like currently? Like, have you been enjoying your week? Just like school stuff.
Well, currently been getting ready for Gulf Coast MakerCon, which is happening in Tampa next Saturday, April 18th. I'll be hosting a pre-event live stream to discuss the event this coming Thursday on the Jupiter Robotics channel.
Yeah, I probably won't be at that one.
I'm getting ready for that event.
I probably won't be at that one because it's just too close to finals for me, like school finals, so I can't join. I'd like to, but also my robots are in kind of rough shape right now, and I'm trying to do a big redesign of Chlorine, which we'll get into later. Anyway, back to the now. My next fight was against Fais Do Do by the Junkyard guys.
Fais Do Do is a really great robot, built very well.
Yeah, plan was just sort of spin up, try and get to the side, do some fancy stuff, and just see what happens. Something very fun happened at the end of this fight. I'll get into it later. But let's get started the fight. All right, here we go.
Who's the knucklehead commentating?
Probably you.
Oh, it was me.
I don't remember actually.
It's me. I recognize that voice.
Okay, off to a good start. I try to get away to spin up because my spin up is a bit slow for some reason. I'm still kicking. I'm still going. Really going to the wall. Go to the wall, but I don't get stuck. That's good. He gets stuck, so it gives me a chance to spin up the speed. And right there, that last hit, my weapon stops dead completely. I'll let play out of it. And I'm looking at it, and I'm like, I'm messing with my remote. I'm like, okay, spin up, weapon isn't moving at all. Okay, screw this, and then I just tap out. Yeah. So that wasn't good. My weapon died. The reason my weapon stopped working is kind of interesting. So I don't have the. Oh, come on, not again. This keeps falling. Goodness sakes.
Hey, I think you dropped something.
Yeah, I did. Okay, hey, wait. Stay there. Gearbox. Okay, so that last hit, when Fais Do Do hit me, they hit my. I think they hit the motor can. Wait, why am I doing this? I can just. There we go. So as you can see here, they hit the motor can and chunked off this bit of metal. That's fine normally because the motor, that's just the external metal. That's not really that important. The problem is that metal then went up and got stuck between the can and the frame. It lodged right where it lodged, like, let me put this back on so you can kind of see. It would have lodged right there between where the motor is and where the frame is. And because this is constrained by that, like a shoulder bolt, it's all nice and held together and nice and firm and all that jazz. And because of that big chunk of metal got lodged there, and it just jammed the weapon completely, and it wouldn't turn anymore, which stopped the weapon from spinning. And so it was an easy enough fix. I just had to take the motor off, take the can off. Or no, I just take the motor off and just clear out the metal, and the motor was fine. It worked. So that was kind of an embarrassing loss because I lost in such a stupid fashion. Which, yeah, not my best performance again. Like, kind of embarrassing way to lose, but at least I didn't take much damage. I mean, I did take, I think that line right there was from Fais Do Do. And that's kind of all they did to me besides the motor thing. And the motor, again, still works, so that was good. Right. Okay. My next fight was against another UF robot in Szechuan Sauce?
Szechuan.
Saucy sauce, yeah, that. So yeah, let me just kind of get this party started. He had a big wedge, and my plan was just to kind of hit him and just hope everything went well. Not really much to say, so let's just get this started. Spin up, we're good. Go forward. It's supposed to be upside down immediately, but we're fine. Good hit there. Again, we're doing pretty well. Okay, so I get his weapon belt here, so he has no weapon anymore, which is good. Good hit there. Spinning back up. Getting away. Belt flies off completely. I'm feeling good. And, still doing okay. A good shot to the wedge there. And right here is when the weapon starts having some issues. So yeah, the weapon now is not really spinning as fast anymore. I'll kind of let this play out because for the rest of the fight, for some reason, I assumed that the weapon wasn't really spinning. I assumed that was that somehow during that last hit, the ESC had got into calibration mode or something, and so I was trying to recalibrate the weapon while I was fighting, bring the throttle down, put it back up to full, let it do the beep cycle thing, and then the weapon will work. What had actually happened is one of the bullet connectors came out of the ESC going to the motor, and so I'd lost the phase. So I couldn't actually spin the weapon up to a dangerous speed anymore. Hold on a minute. I kind of just got stuck in this line of thinking. I didn't know this, though. And so I kind of got stuck in a line of thinking, okay, I just have to recalibrate the weapon. And I kind of forgot I was actually having a fight, which is why I was really driving around as much as I should have been. in like fighting him with just no weapon, because you'll see here, I actually managed to get like a good push on him and like hold my ground for a good bit. Like I actually was able to kind of hold my ground there. I probably should have been doing that the whole time, but I just kind of got stuck in the just recalibrate the weapon there and come on, you idiot. And that wasn't the problem. So yeah, needless to say, I lost in a. Was this fight a split decision or was the next fight a split decision? I can't remember. I honestly don't. All right, so yeah, I obviously lost this. Again, really embarrassing. I think I just forgotten to put tape around like the bullet connectors to prevent them from pulling out. So it obviously the bullet connector pull out, so weapon kind of dies, which that really sucks, but at least I didn't take much damage, so that was good. With a 1-2 record, Fluorine, was able to sneak in at as the 7th seed in the tournament and get into the bracket. And my first fight in the bracket was against the number 2 ranked RBR, aka one of Caden's Death Machines. RBR, well, one of Caden's Death Machines, driven by old Robert. I was not happy about this because RBR is also technically was known as like erratic before, and I faced him before, and it was not fun. I lost in horrific fashion after my butt got taken out, and then I kind of got like a I can't remember. I just know that the last time I faced erratic when he was a vert, it did not go well for me. So I was not looking forward to it this time around. My plan here was to. I've been kind of conservative for these last couple fights by not bringing the weapon up to actually full power. For this fight, I was like, screw it, and I was gonna go full bore and just hope something worked. We shall see if that happens. Let's see if everyone's cheering. Oh, there it is, old Jono.
Who dat?
Hey, Jono. All right, so full speed. He does a wheelie. Okay, he does a wheelie and comes at me. And because he did a wheelie, his underside was exposed for like about a second. And in that moment, I landed a perfect shot on his drive motor and cut a wire. So for the rest of the fight, he's down a drive side. That is probably one of the luckiest shots I've had in my entire career. Like, just again, I think I used up all of my luck for the rest of the day and probably for the rest of the week on that one hit, if I'm being honest, because you'll see what happens next. But that was just a beautifully perfect shot. You can even see his like wire hanging out here. It was, So yeah.
That's huge.
So yeah, he only has one side drive, and I'm like, okay, good. He only has one side drive. Don't mess this up, you idiots. Just hit him and don't be dumb.
Oh.
So now I'm just trying to be careful and not like go into the wall or anything. So now he's in the corner, and I'm trying to be really careful here because I don't want to mess this up. I almost do it there because I miss him because I'm great at driving my robots. Find a shot there. Back up, careful. That's a good shot there. Again, just try to be careful. Stolen Stay wins the race. We're all good. And a shot there, good. He's still struggling, which is good for me. I kind of get stuck, so I back away. Spin up again. And a nice shot there. He can drive pretty well upside down, actually. Being careful, getting up the full speed. I'm kind of starting to drift around a bit because he's hit my blade a couple times at this point, and it's slightly bent, so it's starting to be a bit off balance because of how the blade is bending. But you know, it's still fine. I'm still fine, so I spin up, land a great shot there, and you can see okay, I started spinning it, but the blade is kind of starting to get a little bit more bent because I hit his weapon almost directly. And I'm feeling really happy because, oh my goodness, my robot's actually kind of working. I'm landing big shots and not dying. Great. So I'm feeling awesome because this is the first time the robot's really actually worked at 100% all day and not gotten stuck somewhere. And a good shot there. Spin up again. Keep doing that. That's some good shots at me there. That's a good shot at me there. My weapon is really bent now, but of course it still works. It's a hub motor.
It's good.
I get stuck near the wall, so I have to kind of drive away.
Yeah, she's good.
I spin up. I'm starting to have real issues driving because of the bent blade. And right at the end, I decided to spin up the full speed and go, yay! And I won that Juxtaposition. It was, I think, yeah, it was like I won. Finally. That was my best fight of the day. I'm just gonna say it now. That was by far the best fight I had that day. So that was good. And that's good. I finally managed to defeat RBR, which is basically erratic, which is one of those horrifying vertical thingies. So that's good. This is okay. I'm probably just gonna skip this because this is just chlorine destroying some random stuff for about a minute. That was pretty nice and entertained the crowd. I'll just kind of skip to like the funny bit because I'll show a little bit. There's me destroying a plastic piece and like. Yeah, again, not really much to say. It's literally just me in an arena destroying like a pizza box and like a plastic piece. I think I hit it again. About. Yeah. Again, not much to say. They offered to let me put chlorine in the box and just destroy stuff, and I was like, heck yes, so I can finally test the bot and see if it worked. And it did, so yay. I'll skip to the next fight. Alright. Next fight, I was facing a Szechuan Sauce again. This time around, I double-checked everything before the fight, made sure all the wires were in place, made sure the bullet protectors would come out again. And also I had to replace the weapon blade because it was in the shape of a banana, which wasn't good, obviously. Yeah, I also like this. This is very funny. I've had this happen once where my weapon blade came off my robot and hit like 3 walls and scared a lady who was like right next to the glass. It was great. But
and then the kids always have their hands on the glass.
Yeah.
And that's what makes them move their hands.
Yeah, like, oh, this is bad. Anyway, so yeah, I'm facing this guy again. And I'm thinking, okay, don't do what I did before. Just don't be an idiot. Just make sure everything's connected and just hit him and just keep doing that. And I hopefully think happy things will happen. I should mention, before this fight, what's his name? Ryan, the guy who drives this robot. Okay, specifically Ryan G, because there's like a lot of Ryans on the team, told me that he would probably be forfeiting or just not continuing in the bracket after this fight, even if he won or was winning, because he was kind of out of spare parts at this point. And like, I think he only had this like one belt left for his weapon, and I can't remember his reasoning. Like, if he was here, he'd probably be able to tell us, but like, he basically just didn't want to keep going with the like championship events or like the actual finals if he like was winning, because I think he had to do with like spares or something. At least that's what he told me. I'd have to ask him again to clarify because he could explain it a lot better than I could. So the plan was actually we should have discussed. I'll just let the fight play out.
Audience, are you ready? All right, robots, fire.
So yeah, basically the plan is here is just hit him and just hope things go well. My plan was just like spin up, get some speed, and then like come at him and just try and like do that for the whole time and hope something broke. Yeah, no. Doing well. Spin up again. Come at him. Good. Spin up and come at him. Miss completely. Great job.
And fluorine is upside down. How is that going to affect his performance?
That sounds like
probably actually
that.
better for you. Because then he's going to top of the way.
Sounds like that kid who also commentates, but not Jonathan.
No, the wheel.
So I take off his wheel. I'm feeling like, yes, good. I flip myself over because I'm great. Ish. Spin up again. Trying to get around. I flip around again.
Oh!
I get stuck in the wall, and I think I have to get unstuck, so I'm going to skip that point because they had to stop the fight. Not my greatest moments.
All right.
And I think around here, I started to have some weird, like, drive issues. You'll see in about 8 minutes. Hold on. Okay, the drive's fine here. So I spin up, and I'm kind of trying to come at him. And, like, I'm trying to go towards him, but one of my wheels just, like, locks up for some reason. And I think the problem was one of my gearboxes was starting to break, which which was odd because that wasn't a problem in the last couple of fights. Like, the drive had been fine then, so this was kind of annoying to deal with. But, like, then I would start driving, like, completely fine. So it was, like, a kind of an inconsistent issue, which is almost worse. I can deal with, like, one side of drive not working, but I can't deal with it coming back and dying again. And my wheel dies again. I spin up again, and my drive's back. He's doing a pretty good job staying on me, which has been annoying. So I finally get some speed up, and I come at him. I'm trying to come at him again. Land a good shot there. Land a good shot there. Land a good. I'm trying to be a bit more aggressive here towards the end of the fight. Like, spin up, come at him. Spin up again, come at him.
Oh no, how is he going to recover from that? 5, 4, 3, 2.
Spin up again and land like one last shot.
What will they say? And who's going to the final?
Yeah, yeah, I tried my best. I think what really killed me was the fact my drive died a little bit during the middle, like half it. I think I just replaced the gearbox with like with another gearbox, and that kind of fixed the issue. And then I bought some new ones later, and I have that in now. So yeah, he ended up winning in like a split decision, which I've heard the reasons a million times, and I'm still like I get it, but at the same time I'm like, I don't know. Well, I really think what we should have done. So technically, Szechuan Sauce wins and would have gone to the finals, but then he didn't want to keep going. And so when we heard the results, Ryan had to tell him, actually, I'm forfeiting. I'm giving him the win. So I would go to the finals, and it was a whole mess. They were fine, but then we had to tell Jono, and he was like, "Yeah, sure," or something. And yeah, it was a really awkward, like about a couple minutes. We tried to like sort out everything.
Yeah, it was. You said Ryan was driving that one?
Yeah, Ryan G.
So Ryan, after I made the announcement of him winning, he came up to me a couple minutes after that, and he said, "Hey, I don't have enough parts to keep going in the finals. Can I give my win to Florine instead?" And I asked him, "Well, did you talk to the judges about it?" And he said, "Yeah, the judges are fine with it. They told me to come ask you." And I said, "Well, they're the judges. It's their call, and I'm just here to announce whatever decision is made." So I had no problem with it, and I announced that the decision was overruled. So by split decision, the winner is now Florine.
Yeah, I still feel really guilty about this. Well, I think what we should have done to make this whole thing less confusing was come to an agreement before the fight and I should have like told them, or we should have figured it out and said like, okay, in the last like 10 seconds or so before the fight ends, just tap out and that way I can win or something instead of going to the judges.
I've actually seen it, a team. This was quite a few years ago, but there was a team that had multiple robots. 2 of them were fighting each other, and one of the drivers went to the judges before the fight started, and he says, "No matter what happens in this fight, I lose." And so maybe next time you could probably do that and say, "Hey, no matter what happens in the fight, so-and-so wins."
Maybe, again,
maybe you could work something out like that.
Yeah, in retrospect, I think we should have really discussed this further. Me and Ryan should have discussed this further and come to like some agreement of like, okay, like the last 10 seconds, just tap out, and that way we don't go.
Or that.
And make it weird. In my defense, I think both of us legitimately thought I had won, because because I think he was like a bit surprised that he was given the win. Because I'll be honest, I still think there's a good argument for me winning that fight because someone evidently thought I did. So like, I think what the problem was is I just wasn't aggressive enough. I know Ian left a comment on one of my videos. I can't remember what he said, but like I think the problem is none of my attacks really did anything to him. And despite the fact he had no weapon, technically I wasn't able to really do much else damage wise. Like he was still driving completely fine, which kind of shocked me actually, because that robot is really wibbly. Like it's very squishy, like even squishier than mine. It doesn't really have much rigidity in it. Kind of like fluorine, but it doesn't even have like the aluminum frame. So I'll give him credit where credit's due. That is a really pretty well built robot. If he can figure out the weapon, then he has a good winner there. And I think what also the problem was, I think the weapon was just spinning up kind of slow for some reason. I recall, like, I'm realizing like the weapon was just kind of, it felt a bit more sluggish than normal. Like I noticed I was spending a lot more time trying to get up the speed, even though I was kind of like gunning the throttle, on the remote. Like I was going like trying to go to full power, like high power, but it was like taking longer than normal to spin up. So I think that I have replaced ESC, and I haven't actually tested a new ESC because I don't have a test box with me, but I assume that should fix the issue. I'm not sure. And also the drive was also that really did not help my case. Had my drive worked the entire time, like fully, I think I probably could have swayed it, but whatever. Via somewhat illegitimate means, fluorine technically, I had to actually film myself explaining the situation at the end of this fight because I knew it would be really confusing. So I tried to summarize it in like a really succinct manner with like actually just at the event.
Fluorine technically lost in a split
Get back to my pit table.
decision, but was allowed to keep going because the Szechuan Sauce was unable to keep going to the finals and forfeited the win to me. Just clarifying that.
Yeah. So anyway, via in what is probably the most illegitimate way possible, I managed to get to the finals somehow. Also, yes, Ethan, Ryan's wedge is just goated. It is like titanium, so that does make sense. Anyway, I'm technically in the finals now, against Parakeet Lord from Helen, who I've never actually fought Helen before, so this is going to be a first. Funny thing before this, 50 grams of titanium. Man, bruh. I'm going to have to get... I should have used my stupid cone thing for him. Anyway, so, this fight. First, we tried to do this fight once before, and when I put fluorine in the arena, one of my drive sides wasn't working. So I had to call. I asked her if I could have my postponement, and I was only given 5 minutes instead of like the 20 minutes because this is the final. So I had to rush back to my pit table, unscrew everything, all the screws in the top plate, try and desperately figure out what was wrong. It turns out a wire had come off my drive ESC, and so I had to like get some scissors or something, cut away the plastic covering the drive ESC, take my wire, and just try and solder it back on. And I had to get someone else to like hold it open for me as I dug in there and like was like, please come on, just tin the thing, strip the thing off, come on. Where's like the solder? Grab that, put it on, and like hold this in place while the guy's holding like the plastic back with like some pliers or whatever. Get the thing, go in there, come on, take it away, please set. Look at like it's set. Okay, that's probably gonna be fine enough. Get the top plate, and then rush back to the arena because I was really stressed out at this point because I really wanted to get the fight, actually fight them and not just forfeit. So, yeah, that was stressful. That's where my mind was at before this fight you're about to see. So that was great. Strategy was, because this is just RB, I was facing Parakeet Lord. I forgot to mention the name of the robot. It's Parakeet Lord. It's just like RBR, but with blue and yellow instead of black and orange. Or actually, no, RBR is like, yeah, orange and black. Instead of orange and black, it's blue, yellow, and black. And the plan was just to try and do the same thing I'd done earlier and just spin up to full speed and just pray That was all I could do.
Your gator,
That's just-
babe.
All right, come on, let's get this up. Come on.
All right, 2 minutes are on the clock. 3, 2, 1. Let the madness
So, you know, spin up, full speed, land a good shot there.
take first place.
Playing Thunderstruck, which is great. I get sent to the ceiling. I'm still working though. I do like a serpentine maneuver and instead of like just driving like a straight line because I'm great at driving. I get sent into the wall, but
Oh no.
I get nudged so I can get off.
Eric, you want some more, bro?
I spin up. I'm trying to remain aggressive. Bot's still working though, I'll be honest. I'm kind of impressed the bot held up for this long. And then Parakeet Lord hits my wheel, bending it up and into my chassis. I think also breaking the gearbox. So I can't drive on one side anymore. And also, one of my bullet connectors came out again. Actually, no, wait. I remember, because I remember I plugged the bullet connector back in after this fight, and eventually I tested it again. The motor didn't work at all. So I think the ESC just blew up here partially because it just didn't. I remember checking, like I said, I checked afterwards, like a couple days later, and it just didn't work. I mean, it twitched, but it didn't actually spin. So I assume the ESC at this point just killed itself because it's tired. I don't blame it. And also, like I said, I'm down to one side drive, and the weapon, technically the ESC worked a little enough for me to like spin the weapon at like a slow speed, like in the other Szechuan Sauce fight, Szechuan Sauce fight. So at this point, I probably should have just tapped out because there's really nothing I can really do to him. Do to her, sorry. But at this point, I'm like, screw it. I'm in it. I'm in the finals. I'm gonna lose anyway. I might as well try and make it somewhat entertaining. So you know, I'm trying to be somewhat aggressive by. And hey, like, Parakeet Lord's still, you know, being bounced by my weapon because it's a metal object. It's metal. I'm still trying my best. Get launched there. And okay, so now I'm upside down, and I start doing something kind of interesting. Because my weapon, I can still spin my weapon. I at this point, when I'm upside down, like I'm being pinned, I start like right there. I spun the weapon a little bit, and I spun my weapon into their weapon to like kind of launch myself.
Don't never give up, Darren.
I'm trying.
Let it ride.
So like right here, I start spinning my weapon, and I managed to get it into their weapon, and I launched myself. And I basically just started doing that for the rest of the fight because why not? I'm still in there, you know. I'm still moving. That's not really a pin. And you're about to the weapon move again. There we go. And yep, hit him. See it like kind of launches him. Ah, wait. Yeah, at this point right here, what happened is the motor kind of exploded inside the robot, like the back just shot off. So now I had no drive anymore. And there were also over like 20 seconds of the fight left. And I realized, yeah, I'm going to get counted out probably. And like, yeah, I just tapped out because I wanted to save them the time to count me out. Because I had lost. Well and truly just lost. And so, yeah. That was that. I lost in the finals, so I get second place. And I get this. Hold on, I'm going to stop. Remove that. I get this. A nice little second place trophy. Really nice looking little thing. I'm going to put this somewhere nice, I think. Hopefully. I'm not sure where. But yeah. In what is probably my most illegitimate victory ever, I get my most questionable second place ever. I mean, I guess with a record of 2-4, Florian gets second place. I don't know, man. I am gonna have to. So yeah. What did I learn? I guess. Well, first of all, very fun event.
Very
for
fun.
For a first time event by Robert and Helen, and the maker collectible of Ocala. Excellent work. I had no issues with how it was run. It was run great. The only suggestion I had for him, and I told him this, and I think I've said this before, is add a metal kick plate. That is the one thing you should do, is just add a metal kick plate, and it's fine, because I kept getting stuck in the wall. Well, okay, like, I only got stuck in the first fight, I think. No, and my fifth fight, I got stuck in the wall, and that was kind of annoying. So just fix, like, add, like, I don't know, do what Andy does. I don't know what material Andy makes his kick plates out of, but do whatever he does, and we're fine. And aside from that, not really any issues. And
there's a cheaper solution instead of metal kick plates.
what?
Hearing me out. Don't get stuck in the wall next time.
Why did I think it? Man, you're a genius. Why did I think of that? That is, I
got my thinking hat on today.
yeah. The
Here,
problem.
do you need to borrow my thinking hat?
Probably, my brain doesn't work really. Right. So improvement wise from this event, I have ordered a new motor for the weapon because I can, and I did replace the drive ESC with a new one and got it all wired up, and it's fine, drives good. I replaced both of the motors, at least the gearboxes for both motors, because they're both kind of, well, one motor was broken and the other's gearbox was broken. I think both gearboxes were actually broken. Actually, no. I think I managed to fix one of the broken gearboxes, because what had happened, I think, is just like the shaft had gotten pushed in a little, and I was kind of interfacing with the gears weirdly. I just kind of pulled it back out, and it seems to be working again. Like, it's, let me actually take it out. Yeah, there's the gearbox. This is on like a new motor, and it feels fine now. Like, it's spinning, not really any issues. Even when I try and push it in, I mean, when I push it in a little bit, it kind of feels weird, but like, as long as I keep it like pulled out, it's fine. I might try putting like some washers on like the wheel shaft to keep this, out. I don't know. Anyway, and I also have another completely new motor right here. Oh, for crying out loud. Another motor right there. I dropped my screws. Bruh. As you can tell, I don't plan these things very well. Anyway, so yeah, and I also got some new hardware, because at this event especially, I kept burning through the little like kickstands I use, like these things. I'm realizing that putting these on the robot to keep the robot propped up is... The problem is I just burn through so many of them, and getting them on and off is a bit tedious. So what I'm doing instead is I've ordered a slightly longer shoulder bolt and washers so that it doesn't just rattle around. So when I put it on the motor, I put washers like here, because like the way this works on the robot, it normally looks like kind of like this. And the idea is to put washers between like the bolt head and the motor to like keep this propped out a little bit. So that way when it's driving, like the shoulder bolt is like level with the wheels and all that. And I've ordered a new bolt and washers to do that. And I've also ordered new lock nuts for the top of this. So, because I literally only have like one nut that fits on this specific shoulder bolt, at least that has a lock on it. I got like some other nuts that are just regular old nuts, but they might fall off, which is bad. Aside from that, not much really else. Like, I have swapped over to a new chassis, because this one's kind of, as you can see, slightly wrecked. There's like a big gash there, a lot of damage there. There's like a gasket there. I just figured I'd switch to the new one, well, newish one. So robot's fine, still works, which is good. Yeah, I'm gonna quickly now go to the NHRL event, because that's what the point of the stream is a 2-event recap. Right, so let me get this set up for y'all. All right, I can't do that yet. Hold on. Present a bottom plate to the weapon. I don't have the weight to have like a bottom plate on Florian. I barely have the weight for just the top plate here. like I said, I just do not have the weight to have like a bottom frame to protect the weapon. Feel free to like interject, John, with any like questions or just comments if you want.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna head out of here now.
Oh,
But
no,
yeah, thanks for having me on, and it was fun fighting you at the Ocala event.
Yes, I hope to see you soon and perform a bit better than getting stuck in the wall 3 times. So I guess I'll miss you.
For sure.
See you, John.
Alrighty, see you. Thanks for having me on.
No problem, man. Have a good day.
You as well.
And he disappears into the night like a phantom. I don't know. Like I said, I do not. No, I don't. I don't have the. I literally do not have the weight to do this. If I did, I would, but I don't, so I won't. If that makes any sense at all. Right. Anyway, NHRL. Actually, I'm gonna have to talk about how the preparations and all. So, as you probably know from the posts I've done on the interwebs everywhere, I think. Actually, I don't think I shared them on Instagram. I think I only shared them in Discord. Point is, for this event, I printed a new version of Chlorine's chassis with fork mounts at the butt to have forks. And the plan was to run forks at NHRL because freaking everyone. Remove the middle bar on the top plate. Roughhouse, I think you underestimate how much this weighs because removing just this middle bar would not save me enough weight to have a full underside bar or frame. I only have like 10 grams of excess weight right now, and removing this part. First of all, I kind of can't because this entire part of the robot protects the wires from being hit. That's kind of a problem. And also, even if I did, the amount of weight I would save is not enough for me to put on another frame on the bottom. Even if I made it like really thin, at that point it's. I also, in order to do that, I'd have to like modify the rest of the robot to be like a bit thicker or thinner. I can't really recall. I mean, again, I like the idea, but I just do not have the weight. Maybe down the line, if I can, maybe if I switch to like carbon fiber or something instead of aluminum, maybe then, but I don't know. Anyway, right, NHRL preparation. Sorry. Right, so for this event, I had forks added to chlorine, as you can see. I only have one on because when I got to the event, I realized I could only run one fork or else I'd be overweight, which, whatever. That kind of sucks, but you live and you learn. That'll be fixed next time. But even then, I had forks, and I was really, really, really proud of these forks. I iterated the design of these forks constantly. I'd gotten a lot of feedback. I tried my best to follow it to the best I could. And I came with these little designs. I mean, they're not great. I know they're not perfect, and these mounts should really be higher up on the robots, so I can make these bi-directional so they can work either way up. But I was pretty proud of them. Yeah, I did see the new wheel guards on Tombstone. I honestly think it looks pretty cool. I kind of vibe with the design, I'll be honest. Anyway, right. So, up until the day of the event, I was still technically on the wait list for the event. I was like number 1 on the wait list, but I was still on the wait list nonetheless. I was assuming, like most events I've been to, that someone would probably just not show up or something would happen, and so I'd be then bumped onto the actual competition list. And also, I should mention that we were. One second, I'm being texted, bruh. It's fine, don't worry. Anyway, right. What was I saying? Right. Okay, going thing. So on the wait list, I assumed that some would probably just not show up or something would happen and I'd be bumped onto the actual competition list, like most other events I've been to. I'm used to that. And so also, so we had to leave from Florida, from Solar Park specifically, at like 1 a.m. on Friday, which was not fun, but you know, I wasn't really sleeping that much of the way. I assumed I'd sleep on the way there. We drove to the event. At least, yeah, we drove to the event in a 2007 Chrysler Pacifica or something. I can't remember the exact year, but it was like a black Chrysler Pacifica and like a silver one as well. We had two vans. I'll be honest, when they said vans in like the Discord, I assumed it meant like an actual like rectangular box, like kidnapped children type van, to be honest, with like a bunch of bent seats and like a bunch of like rows in the back or whatever, because I've been in those types of things like a lot. Well, not a lot, but I used to be in one at a summer camp I went to when I was like 12. That's like Lion Country Safari. They had like these vans. I assumed they meant like that kind of van. No, it was just like a SUV type thing, which was fun, I guess. We had to drive for like 20 hours. It took like 20 hours for us to drive all the way up to Connecticut. And we stopped a couple times because we had to get gas and also food. Yeah, it kind of sucked, I'll be honest. The drive was pretty terrible. Not like because of the people in the van. It wasn't their fault. Like that, they made it actually they made it better, but like just being in one vehicle that's that small for that many hours is not fun. And yeah, that was kind of put a damper. I was like kind of upset because again, it just kind of sucked. It was really kind of miserable. I couldn't even really sleep that well because this chair was just that uncomfortable. But regardless, we get there to NHRL. We offload all our stuff. I see the arena and all that stuff for the first time. And first impressions are, it's pretty cool. You know, they have a little tiny elevator to put your stuff in. They take it to like the upper floor where all the pits are. And there's like, there's many different cages and arenas and a lot of pit tables. And they even have a little tiny parts store up there that you can buy replacement stuff at. And there's a safety area. It's it was pretty cool. It's not the largest event I've actually ever been to. I've been to larger, like Robot Ruckus in Orlando. I think is either the same size or slightly bigger, I want to say. And anyway, so I get through safety that night, which is great. The only thing I can't do is get my picture taken on like the table because my name isn't on the list of bots there because I'm technically not off the wait list yet. And the thing is, one of the UF team's robots, Melvin's robot Minerva, due to some reason, so Melvin was actually one of the few people who was actually flying to the event, like in a plane. The rest of us, because of like a budget thing, we didn't have the budget to just buy plane tickets. We had to pay for it ourselves, so the cheapest way was to drive. That's why we drove instead of flying. He was flying, and so like the other van actually had to go pick him up from the airport. And his robot was he was kind of, I think the plan was to drive his robot with us to the event because he wasn't taking it with him. The problem is his robot was around 10 hours into the drive. We all collectively realized his robot was still in Florida. And there was a brief schism to try and like consider like shipping it, like rush shipping it up to us. But like it would have taken too long anyway. So unfortunately, poor Minerva and Melvin wouldn't be able to compete, which really sucked. And technically, I thought that meant I would be fighting. I felt really bad about this because that is a really terrible way for you not to compete in an event, for your robot to just not be there. Like that sucks. But I was thinking, okay, I guess I'll fight. And I actually even put like a special message on top of my robot to kind of pay tribute to Minerva. You can see there. As a way to sort of honor it. Because I assumed that Melvin or someone would tell the organizers that he would be able to fight, and then they would automatically just take me off the wait list to put me in the competition. It turns out that they don't just assume that. You have to actively tell them, like, at least someone on the team was supposed to say, like, hey, Melvin or Minerva's not going to be here, and we have a replacement for him, which is me. You're supposed to tell them that. They just told the organizer, or Melvin, I think, told the organizer that, hey, I have to forfeit. My vote won't be there. And they just took and just marked all his fights as forfeits instead of, like, taking him off and then putting me in his place. That you have to tell them, the organizers, NHRL organizers, that you have a replacement. And I don't think he knew that, and I didn't know that, so I didn't actually say anything, like, in the Discord, even though I probably should have, because I didn't want to come off as being annoying. And because of that, Corin was still on the wait list when the day of the competition came. And when we finally cleared all this up, like about 30 minutes before the fights were meant to start, it was too late for me to be put on into the actual competition. So I was now there with robots, number one on the wait list, and someone else had dropped out, and I still couldn't compete. So yeah, basically I'd sat 40 hours in a car. Actually, basically at the end of it was like 40-hour driving back and forth for really no reason. So yeah, that kind of sucks, I'll be honest. So basically I couldn't compete. Even though I was there, I couldn't actually really compete in the actual competition. I probably wouldn't have done well, but still I would have liked the chance to at least fight someone for something. And so I was kind of in a bit of a somewhat bad mood for pretty much the entire rest of the event because of that. Kind of put a damper on the whole thing. So pretty much I'm there for robots that I can't fight with because I'm still technically on the wait list. And basically my only option at that point is just to do grudge matches. Oh well. Like I said, I was pretty upset over this because, like I said, I was really looking forward to this event and actually trying to do well. And so, I tried to. I didn't like get upset at anyone because it really was no one's fault. It was kind of really my own. I should have known this, and I really should have reserved my spots on like the list like months in advance, which apparently you can do. But yeah, I didn't know that, and I somehow missed the announcement on the Discord that you can reserve spots. But whatever. I've learned. I was really upset over it. I've calmed down since then because I've had like a week to cool off. So whatever. Anyway, the good news is I can grudge match, which is great. At least I might be able to get a fight in, and maybe two. And so I basically spent the rest of the event. So I was like first on the grudge match list, and so I was able to get some grudge matches though. And now after all this prelude, we can actually get to that. Anyway, all right, let me just shut the stage. There we go. Here we are. So my first NHRL match ever was obviously a grudge match. Was against hold on a minute. Let me just check what's his name is. It's I was fighting a robot called Juxtaposition, who was I think out of the tournament at this point, and so he offered to fight me. Excellent. This was built by Kikoto. He's the guy who built like that drill robot, like Power of Friendship, I think. So he's a pretty good builder, and he built this. And so
Back up a little bit.
all right, so plan also, and like I said, I was only running one fork because weight issues. So here's Juxtaposition, big old wedge. He had like multiple configurations. This was his wedge config with like a vertical spinner. Pretty cool. So the plan was just kind of get used to the arena and just kind of run at him. Right there, I'm just kind of testing my fork. It's great. and he's immediately lost sight of drive for some reason. I'm not really sure why. I think he has a video coming out like in probably over the summer. He'll go over this. Anyway. So I'm doing good.
Hey, your screw your nut just came off.
Caden's pointing out the bolt on the top of the weapon stack right there. Well, not this one. This was like a different one, but this had come off the robot, and so now the shaft that the shoulder bolt that holds everything kind of together was, well, not really hold everything together, but that was now off the robot, which, oh dear. But weapon was still fine as long as the frames was still together. The weapon wouldn't fly out or anything. It'd be fine. I was too busy concentrating on the fight at this point to really respond. And right here, for some reason, my weapon just stopped responding to command. It just died.
You do.
And so my first response was, "Oh man, my weapon died." But I was like, "Yay! Wait a minute! I have forks. I finally have a plan B and not just a plan A and no other plan. I can now get under people." So I start pinning him because I can. So I just start trying to pin him. It's a mixed success because I'm not the best. Like I said, this remote drive is better than the other versions, but this is still a bit hard to drive. I get a good pishin, then he kind of pins me on me. Driving backwards is surprisingly difficult. Weapon starts spinning. Well, but it's freed up, so it's kind of spinning off rotational energy. It's not really stuck anymore, which is good. So I pin him again because I can. I try to back up.
There it goes.
I get stuck on the floor briefly, but I managed to get free.
2, 3, 4. Oh, the weapon works.
And for some reason, the weapon just starts working again. I don't know where Caden's busy with, I think he's just busy, so he can't really go to live streams much anymore, so I don't know where he is. He is still doing stuff. I know that, but he's kind of busy. Oh, this is a good question. What drivers? Chlorine uses... let me check, actually. I think they're variant of motor. Now, for Pete's sake, home. I'm trying to remember what the exact name is. Chlorine uses. Let me find the exact. Yes. Chlorine uses Repeat Robotics Max brushed planetary motors with a 6mm shaft. They're brushed, obviously, but they're pretty reliable. I haven't had too many issues with them. They work pretty great. Yeah, they are brushed. I'm thinking of switching to brushless, maybe, because everyone keeps telling me I should. But yeah, Chlorine uses Repeat Robotics 6mm brushed Beetle drive motors. Anyway, so weapon starts working for some reason. I'm not sure why. I still don't know because I can only assume that the hit I had against him just got something stuck in the weapon, and all of this had loosened it, so I can fight again. So I start going on the attack.
The shaft is going to come out.
Yeah, it's fine.
All right. As long as you're aware.
Spin up again because he can't really move. Nice shot there. I get sent to the wall because I'm great.
1 minute.
A good shot there. Nice. Send it to the blink. He's doing a great job filming. I'm kind of overswing a lot. I'm tearing away at those little side pieces, though, which is nice. And right here, I just get stuck on him.
I can't get up. Disengage. I can't get up. You must disengage immediately. Random.
Here
comes Brett for an unstick.
You don't have to call for an unstick. If you're tangled together, they'll do it.
Yeah, I didn't really know what to do here because I was stuck on him, and I didn't know. I literally could not get off him. So I hit the unstick button because I didn't know what else to do. Yeah, no, I don't use brushless motors. I use brushed. I haven't switched to brushless yet, so it's brushed. Anyway, so I thought I had to call.
Yeah, well, now you know.
So yeah, the fight's basically ended.
I think you're just going to call the match there.
So yeah, fight ends with me stuck on him, but me and Kokoto kind of talked about it, and we decided that I had won because I was still fully functional and he wasn't. So Chlorine is technically 1-0. Yes, I count grudge matches as official wins because I technically had a fight. At least in my official fight record, I host myself. I count as a win and also loss if I lose. So yeah, I win. Excellent. Next, basically, I was able to get another fight in. This time against an SSP kit named Blue Viper. I know that, Rough House. I technically am already using the max motors, if I'm being honest. I can send links, but I don't think you can. These are the motors I use. These ones. They are already max, I think. I'm not really sure how the branding works. Anyway, so I was able to get another grudge match in against Blue Viper here, an SSP kit, which great. I get more fight, yay! But this fight was interesting because we for some reason they decided to put us in one of the bigger arenas, cage 4, as you can see, which is meant for 12-pounders and I think 30-pounders. I'm not sure. I think they fight 30s in here. I don't remember. And as you can see, so Chlorine looks kind of pathetic. It looks like Chlorine right now because of how tiny it looks, which is kind of cool. Anyway, this is kind of a for fun fight, and I wasn't really worried because the kid was he really wanted to fight someone. I think his name was Gavin. Yeah. Also, I should mention during this fight, I tried to Chlorine's never been run for 3 minutes before, so I was trying to be careful with the weapon by not. So you'll see it a bunch. I'll explain as play out. I wasn't really gunning the throttle as much as I probably could have because I didn't want to run out of battery before the fight ended. That would be kind of embarrassing. So I kind of had to. I was kind of throttling the weapon up and down during the fight. Spin up when he's closer, spin down when he's farther away. You'll kind of see. That was kind of a weak hit. Yeah, I'm kind of getting used to how big the box is because it's so big. I'm having actual issues driving around it because I have to constantly move my head. I was actually kind of moving around trying to get a good position in. Yeah, and there, miss. Come on, drive. There you go. Oh. See, I keep missing him because I'm it's just so big. I'm not really used to it. Right here, I switch off my weapon to start using the forks because. And then I start trying, and I'm yeah, this is pointless. So I'm gonna just use my weapon again. I think right around here, I start getting stuck in the floor. He gets a good push on me there, but then I get stuck in the floor, which is not great. So I have to do a little spin move again, try and get out. I get 3, which is great. Got a good shot there. I rip off one of his forks. Now I'm upside down. One of my wheels dies, then comes back to life, which is a bit odd. And I'm trying to drive the robot well, but because of how the forks are designed, I can't really drive backwards anymore, at least not as easily. And right here I get stuck in the wall, which is great. So Flo, I think that's the name, yep, Flo, just comes over and gives me a nice little push. I can't really drive backwards because, like I said, the forks are getting stuck in the floor because they're at such a high angle. Spin up and not many hits, I'll be honest. Start trying to come after him a bit harder. Land a good shot there. Get away, spin up again. And then a nice shot there finally. And miss completely. And then the fight ends. Yes, chlorine is 4S. It has a 4S battery. So yes, we agreed again that I had won this fight. Me and like the family of Gavin, who you saw briefly there. Yeah, so I won. Yay. So, fun fact after this fight, I think one of my drive motors was starting to kike. A lot of screws were coming loose. One of the drive motors was explained why one of them was starting to act a bit funky. So I tightened all the screws back in, and that fixed the issue. Then when I opened up the robot to like check everything, I found that my battery had swollen up a little bit. Like it was it was actually quite puffy. Like when I looked at it, and I showed it to some other people, and they're like, "Yeah, that's about to explode." And so I actually showed it to the family, and they were like, "Wow, that's amazing." So I actually suffered technically some damage in this fight with my battery getting really, really puffy. So I actually had to take it and put it in like a big saltwater bin, which is kind of scary a little bit because, I'm not used to doing that. And also I was like, so I kind of remember I opened the bin up and I just kind of like went, and just kind of tossed it in there and it was fine. But yeah, so that was fun. So now I'm down to only one battery in my robot. So, one on stamp. Well, just one period. I don't have like a backup I can just switch in, so I'll have to get a new one soon. That being said, so yeah, I won this fight as well, technically. So 2-0, technically speaking. Right. Okay, so my next fight and last fight of the event was a special rumble they were doing where it was more of an exhibition rumble, so there wasn't really an actual winner or really loser. So this fight isn't really going to count for a win or a loss. It just was for fun. And the goal was to destroy this egg thing you see in the middle for some reason, because this is an NHRL that do just random weirdness. And so there are a lot of other robots here. The plan for me was just I was kind of trying to hang back, not really engage all that much, just try and survive for the most part. All right, I forgot about that. Probably should do that. Anyway, so yeah.
4, 3,
Let's see how this goes.
1, rumble.
So spin up, trying to back away into the corner. A robot lands near me, which is kind of annoying. I try and keep on the defensive. Substitution is back. It's like I'm trying to be careful. Don't tell me I lost drive immediately. Oh no, I shoved my weapon off. There we go. Good hit there. I think immediately one of my drive motors stopped working, so which is annoying, but whatever. At this point, I'm just gonna try. I've lost the drive side. I can't remember if it's because the motor exploded or the gearbox just broke or some other thing. I think that motor had just exploded. That's why it was not working anymore.
I can't see my robot. I think I'm dead. Oh, yeah, I'm dead.
Yeah. Just under 2 minutes. 2 minutes.
Okay, so now Chlorine is just kind of stuck against the house robot because, yeah. Weapon's still working, which is nice. So I decided to spin up the full speed into sun because at this point I'm kind of wiggling the stick and I cannot move the robot anymore.
Yeah.
So, like, weapon still works, so that's good. But then
There we
suddenly
go. I kind of got it kind of moving.
I can suddenly move again, kind of. Yeah, so what had happened is, I'll just say it now, the dry motor on the left side, like, all the screws had come loose, like, on that motor, so it was, like, really wiggly. It was still attached to, like, the sidewall, but, like, the motor itself and the gearbox were, like, really wiggly and weren't really meshing properly because, like, all the screws were coming loose for some reason. And so I had, like, so occasionally it would, like, move out of alignment because of all the wiggling, but I think during, like, this last minute, it wiggled in just the right way to, like, where all the gears were connecting and meshing properly, so I was actually able to keep the wheels spinning, which is nice. Poor guy in the corner is just dead. But I'm still technically in this thing. Everyone else is, like, Juxtaposition's dead. That guy in the corner, I don't know his name's dead. I hit that guy. He's still moving along.
1 minute. Come here, weird red thing. Yeah, there you go.
I don't know what the name is. I'm still trying to remain somewhat aggressive because the weapon's still fully functional. And then I don't know why he went over there. He just got stuck and died. I'm just kind of trying to just keep aggressive in some semblance of the word. As you can see. So yeah, this vertical spinner hits me into the side and I'm still moving. That's good.
I think
30 seconds! 30 seconds!
I don't think the wheel's pinned up against like the sidewall or something. Or the motor's broken. Anyway, I'm gonna fix it after this.
Yeah, so that was the second option, not the first one. They're still exploding over there. I'm just trying to get over to these guys because they look fun. I can't. And then this guy comes back, so he like hits me and I like manage to survive.
8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That's the end of the match. Drivers and
And yeah, no one really won or lost. That was just kind of a for fun fight. Not too much damage. One of the motors needed to be replaced, which is fine. The other one, I just had to tighten all the screws back into place, and it worked. So that was good. And that was it. I've just had those 3 fights, and that was kind of it. I won 2 of them, so that's good. And, Chlorine survived the event in mostly one piece. Actually, I can stop sharing because there's nothing really else to share besides some, not really much else to share besides like pictures, but like you can see them on my many other socials that I've posted links to. So yes, that was my first time going to NHRL. Overall, pretty fun. It was, I will admit, in retrospect, looking back and having time to think, it was a little kind of underwhelming, partially because, I wasn't actually in the competition proper. And also, it kind of just felt, normal, I suppose, for lack of a better word. Like, it felt like most other, like, it felt a lot like Orlando Robot Ruckus, to be honest, in terms of size. Obviously they don't have as many arenas, and obviously they're also televising to a lot more people, but what are you gonna do? It was pretty fun. So, and I will admit their little pit shop, or the pit star, was, I don't know if underwhelming is the word. I kind of thought there'd be a bit more, like in terms of like ESCs and all that, but I guess they have what you need, so whatever. Anyway, improvements, right? I do want to come back to NHRL, as a proper competitor, and I do want to come back as a proper competitor next time and actually fight for something. Next time I won't be driving there. I will be flying. We should have a budget in the fall for travel. I hope so we can hopefully actually afford plane tickets, which will be much better than the drive. I will have to pack differently, but I can handle that. That's fine. So I hope we can. Is that also bent? Are you kidding me? Jeez. I'm looking at stuff. So yeah, I do want to go back as a proper competitor, but I have learned stuff. I've learned things, I mean, from the events, specifically like improvements I want to make. Specifically, I'm probably going to try and redesign the robot to be a bit more compact because I do have a lot of dead space inside the robot that I could probably make better use of. So over the summer, because I will actually have time over the summer, I'm going to try and like just kind of figure out, first of all, how small I can make the internals, like how and what way I can compact them better so that I can fit more, so I can make the chassis smaller and how much smaller I can make it. And then once I figure out how much smaller I can make the chassis, I can then redesign like the weapon frames, well, actually, no, the weapon frames I can probably still get away with this design by just cutting off like the little tails that go from like these parts. I could probably get rid of those because I'll be honest, they aren't really doing much for the robot. I can probably honestly get away with just having this front section on the robot, if that makes any sense. That's one thing I want to try fixing is basically make this smaller is the plan, so I can save more weight for something else. Forks also held up pretty well. I mean, this was the form that had like most of the time this had a fork on it, and it did take some damage. Like it's kind of starting to pull away from the chassis, which is not that good. But first of all, I'll admit this chassis. I think the problem is when I was printing this chassis, my extruder on my filament was. My extruder on my printer was a bit clogged. So I think that caused the print quality to not be as good as it could have been. So there's that. And I'm going to make it smaller, which is good. And also, I'm going to be moving the mounts on the redesign upwards, so they're perfectly in the middle of the robot. I'm also going to move them a bit more to the side because right now, if I try moving it up, it'd run into where the switch is placed. So I have to move either the switch or the forks, like laterally speaking. So that's something else I'm going to probably fix. I'll be honest, the weapon, I didn't really have any issues with the weapon. It worked pretty much fine the entire time. Like, it still works. Like, motor's fine, ESC's fine. Like, I had, like, almost no issues with the weapon at all. Except for that fight I had with Juxtaposition where it stopped working for some reason, but that problem didn't really show up again, so I'm not really sure what happened there. So I think for now, so I can have a consistent height, because the limiting factor with this robot's height is currently the weapon motor and weapon stack, which is currently 38 millimeters. Actually, it's not 36 anymore. It went up because I switched to a different one than the original design, which is why there's actually some washers on this robot that prop the frame down a bit so it doesn't bend weirdly. Plan is to I will be keeping the hub motor for now, just so I have something to have as like something to reference design wise for like at least the height. Something I can keep consistent. I can like work off of that. Eventually, I might switch to a belted weapon. I'm not too sure. I know I'm probably going to eventually have to do it, but for now, I just want to I want to focus on just making this more compact, and then I'll try making it. Then I'll try some of the more esoteric ideas like a belt-driven weapon and maybe brushless drive. The thing with brushless drive, I know Brooks said earlier that there's a lot of ways to get like a 6mm shaft into a brushless motor. I'd have to look into that, but I just right now I just don't really have the free time to do that. But over the summer, I should have a lot more time to do that because I probably won't be up to much. I'll be honest. Maybe I will. I'm not too sure yet. So that's chlorine, and chlorine, regardless, is probably not, because of all the redesigns I want to do. It's probably not going to be as good as the original. But I will be keeping the hub motor for now, just so I have something to reference design wise for like at least the height. Something I can keep consistent. I can work off of that. I doubt Chlorine's gonna is gonna be fighting again that really soon because I'm gonna be doing a lot to it. Yeah, I think I'm gonna save a lot of weight if I. The thing is with belt driving the weapon is, I'd have to like that'll take probably longer than the just making the chassis smaller because making the chassis smaller is just taking existing components and compacting them better. That's easy enough. But with a belt-driven weapon, I need to like figure out the weapon. I have to like go into thinking about like bearings for like that, like top like a bearing for like the frame, and like a big shoulder bolts, which I do have like wood. But I think the one I'd have to use would have to be a lot bigger than this one, and I also have to like get a pulley made. Then like get a new weapon blade made that has like holes for that pulley, then like a thing on the underside of that to hold it in place. Maybe another pulley, I'm not sure. And then like to prevent it from moving up and down, I need like bushings or like washers to keep it from this vibe going up and down too much. And then I'd have to like get bearings for all of those components so that it runs smoothly around the shoulder bolts. Or actually, no, the shoulder bolt would be in bearings itself, but more bearing is probably nice. So that would be a pretty intensive redesign to go to a belted weapon. I might do it eventually, but right now I'm sticking with this because I just don't have the time right now. But eventually, maybe. I don't know. Fluorine is probably going to remain unchanged for its next event, which is coming up in June. That's the big final the big championship event, which is going to be my one summer vacation thing, I think, unless I do something faster. I'm not too sure. Like I said, I don't really know what the plan is for summer, to be honest, besides that one thing. I honestly don't think I'm going to be doing much else because it's a pretty big trip. So going to have to make the most of that. Going to be going to Utah. Flooring-wise, design-wise, I can't think of anything I'm going to be changing before that event. I'm probably just going to get a lot of spares. I'm probably going to get a new roll of filament so I can 3D print a new chassis. Which I will need. I might try making a new chassis just a bit smaller. I don't know. I got some ideas for stuff. Basically, I'm going to get a lot of spares for this event, and I might try a different weapon because, well, this is nice, but even I can admit that maybe making the weapon bar this thin is not the best idea. I might try like a shorter, stouter disc or something, like a pseudo disc, pseudo bar type thing that's like a bit more general purpose. I'm not sure that's meant to face like vertical spinners. I don't know. I don't have the time really to worry about these things now. I will maybe in like a couple weeks because then school will be out, so that's good. But yeah, there's a lot of fun things, at least for Florian, that are I'm hoping to do. That's about it. I can't honestly think of anything else I want to really talk about because I did the event stuff. So first of all, I would like to say this. For the March Pick Mass event, when the team did really well at that event. Like I think Ethan, like I said, he's probably gone by now, but he got second place in the plastic ant weights with Reaper, which is great. I obviously got second. Ryan got like fourth, I want to say, because he did have one more fight after the one he had with me, and he got faced up against like Fais Do Do, and he kind of got ripped apart, but he managed to survive to the end, so good on him. There are other people there as well, obviously. I made a post about this somewhere else. I think it's on the official Gatorbox Instagram page with a lot more pictures. They all did really well. It was a good event. And the NHRL team also did really well. I mean, I didn't because, well, duh. I mean, I technically did get 2-0, if we're being semantic. So, but those aren't really competition wins, but in my heart they count. And Flory did. Chloe did, I'll be honest. Overall, it managed to go there and it survived. It did pretty well against some pretty good robots. And it was good to finally go. And so I can now finally say I've been there. I stopped sharing that. Yeah, there we go. It's good to finally go. And because everyone's been basically telling me I have to go. And so I hope. Nick, there we go. I forgot his name. Yeah. So yeah, Nick, I finally went to NHRL. You were there. You actually saw me. Hope you were happy. And the rest of the team, UF team, did pretty well as well. We like Brooks said earlier, he got to the semifinals and they're in the finals for December. That's good. Old Termigator will hopefully have the drive issues sorted out and just kill everybody. It'll be wonderful. Oh, for Pete's sake, don't roughhouse, please. I have to get the robot more better first. Then I'll worry about that. Anyway, Ned, who is also on the team, he has a robot called not Minor. What the heck am I saying? 12 speed. Yeah, he had 12 speed. Was a 12 pounder, and he also got to like the finals, like the actual finals. He also qualified for the finals in December, but he managed to get to the finals and only lost to Xenomorph where he got absolutely torn to shreds. But he did really well as well. So that was good. The rest of the team did pretty well. You can check the Instagram. Anyway, shush Jupiter. We're not going to Texas Roadhouse now. Anyway, that is it. I can't really think of anything else to say. So I hope you enjoyed the live stream. I like talking about these things with people. I'm glad people actually showed up for once to talk. I'm amazed they actually got Brooks involved. He's never showed up to these things. Go subscribe to his YouTube channel, which I think is like, I don't know, I think it's like Brooks Silber or something. I don't remember. He has like some of his fights up there. He does cool stuff. Follow Gator Robotics on the gram and I don't know, join the club or I don't know, make fan stuff. I don't know. I keep saying I don't know. I should really stop doing that. What am I doing? What else is there? So yeah, thanks for him for showing up. Thanks to Jupiter for also coming on for a little bit. That was nice of you. Thanks. Good to have you on. And that's kind of it. So I'm gonna sign off for now. Thanks for joining the stream and everyone who did. And I will hopefully see you at latest June, where I'll be going over and posting fights of me in Utah, assuming everything goes well. This is Darren Catalane, team captain of Team Halogen Robotics, signing off for now. Stay awesome, my Halogen homies. Come on, hit the end. There we go.